when you say positions, I think I go back to the characteristic of ground and pound. Like whatever player at that position is the best. Like if it's an offensive line, get him. If it's a running back, get him. Like whatever is going to help out your ground and pound game, because that's what's been missing for like the last 3 years. We haven't had that. So at number 12, somebody that's going to come in, first of all, that's the best at that number 12 position to help with ground and pound, that ground and pound game. I mean, it's easy to draft like those defensive guys that are going to come in, but we got to have that. I mean, if they want to, if there's a good running back there, I'm just throwing it out there, go and get him. But we got to start there. Yeah, and that's where it starts at. You, as an offensive minded team, any team, you want to like control the trenches. And if you can, I would say, control the chains and the time of the game, now it opens up for the big plays that we're used to seeing with Dak. He didn't have a play action game last year. It was more the quick stuff, and that's different. We want to be able to run that football, move those chains, get those linebackers to come up thinking that it's going to be run. And so now you can throw the ball deep. That's the game that we were missing, and we need to see that back. Yeah, you got. I think you got to. You got to. I know they haven't drafted that high at off with the offensive line. Maybe they can trade. Give that pick up and get pushed back a little bit. Get a couple of late first rounders, second rounders. I don't know exactly how the draft works, but whatever that they need to do to help with that ground and pound game, I think that's what they need to do. I don't know. I think he's a phenomenal player, and when you have a guy that can come in and make an immediate impact, that's going to be what we need. But to be honest with you, I don't know exactly like what we need with the Dallas Cowboys, but I know that we need a spark, something that's going to like really ignite that fire that we need, and go from there. Like hiring from within, I think that you know it was comfortable. It was something that, Jerry, he's used to doing. But also he brought a good supporting cast to be able to support what's going on. Now we just got to solidify, Micah and a couple other guys to make sure that they're ready for, this year. And I just want to see some W's. I just I gotta start seeing those wins come up, and that's like, I mean, the head coach is the highest pressured position with the Dallas Cowboys. Is the way you did and everything is, start getting wins at the beginning of the season and everything will be okay. I think they'll get it, sorted out pretty quick because when I went to Tyron Smith retirement deal, it was me and Micah Parsons there. We were talking. He was feeling really good. I see smiles from Jerry. Micah's like, I'm ready for the season. DeMarcus, we still need to work on some pass rush stuff. How do we dial in even more? And I think when Jerry saw like both of us together talking and how focused Micah was, he was like, okay, well then maybe I need to expedite this thing a little bit, and get him where he needs to be. And I think it'll be soon. I'm not worried about that. Not really. I mean, I'm trying to still get a grasp on it because it's so sporadic. Because you're starting to see like, how guys are doing it to combine. You're like, oh, wait a minute. He ran a 4.6. He's offensive line. Hold up, wait. This guy just ran a 4.4. He plays defensive end. So I'm starting to like look at a lot of the athleticism. Yeah, some of these players are playing well, but their athleticism that I didn't know that they had, and starting to think about like, okay, well, yeah, Travis Hunter, that's there, that's cool. But I don't know. Yeah, I gotta see these guys like with pads on and having to really think and be up on the pressure in the NFL because it's different. Everything is fast in the NFL, not NFL, but in college. But when you get to the NFL, it's a whole totally different beast. I think wherever he goes, they gotta let him do it because it just creates a when you have a player that can electrify you on either side of the ball to with just making plays, you gotta let him keep doing it. Because you can't get that. Like some guys are just okay, offense or defense, but when you can get a guy on either side just spark a team, which a lot of teams need, no matter where he goes, I think they should let him play. They've gotten some veteran leadership, you know, in the off season, which I feel like they need. It's going to just push them to get a little bit later in the playoffs. They have the team. They got like a sleeper team. Um, Offense and defensive line, I would always say go and get, yeah, maybe offensive line up there. I will go and get to just protect Bo Nix. I would do that if I was going to draft at 20, but I don't know who's going to be there at that time. So and they're a young team. So I would just, if it was a for sure thing, I would draft a defensive guy that's going to come in and make an impact right now. Yeah, yeah. You know what? You just to that point. I would say like somebody that's I mean, I would say Cortland Sutton is that long range guy. Like who is that like that Wes Welker? You see what I'm saying? Like somebody that can come in that when they make an impact um from an offensive standpoint, they can, play left, they right. They're more like that slot type guy, but a go-getter. Um that's I think that's a really good thing when you're just thinking about a guy that can come in as somebody that's supporting Cortland Sutton. Yeah, that's a high 20, 20 pick in the draft. You can probably get him second, third round or later, maybe. But I don't know who's there right now that can sort of fill those shoes. For sure, from what they have done last year, it's just a couple missing pieces that I'm trying to just think about that they will need. Um, because they played well enough on defense, they played well enough on offense, and maybe it's just experience that's missing, but you can never have too much supporting cast.